Hello, Bay Area real estate broker Chris Simone here with another video here from our buyer benefit series. You can check out a video of all these great topics on our website, howourbuyerswin.com. Today's video is This Could Be You. I'm going to walk you through exactly what it would be like if you were working with us to help you find a home. Welcome to the video. This video is going to be a step-by-step guide of what it would be like to work with us as your buyer agent. I will mention that I'm not going to talk about who we are and what our credentials are. We have videos of that also on our website. Here's some links, and you can take a look at those if you haven't already checked them out. I also want to take a quick moment to mention that there are a lot of other great real estate agents working throughout the Bay Area. At the end of the day, we truly are just advocates for buyers and sellers, and we want to make sure that you have exceptional representation. So whether you're working with us or another great agent, we do wish you the best of luck. We do hope you can find the perfect home for you and your family. Here's what we're going to cover in this video. We're going to talk about our onboarding process, setting expectations. We'll touch on our home buyer protection plan and guarantees. And then we're going to talk about the execution phase of finding you a home and all the various things that we're going to do to give you the best chance for success. We'll briefly cover the escrow process. And finally, at the end of the process, it'll be time to celebrate. I'd like you to think of this video as sort of like a consultation. If you and I met somewhere at a Starbucks or at my office at your home, and I was going to go through all the things that we do to try and help you purchase a home, these are all the steps and all the things that we would be talking about. So I guess it's kind of like a free consultation on your own time, in your own place, and at your own speed. But let's get started. Like most great projects, if we want to give ourselves the best chance for success, we want to have a strong foundation. That all starts with our onboarding process. The first thing we want to do is understand what's your scenario. Are you a first-time home buyer? Are you selling a home and buying your next home? Are you moving to the area from another part of the country? Are you looking for an investment property? Knowing a little bit more about your scenario and background will allow us to come up with a better overall plan that helps meet your needs. We want to know what your timeline is. Are you looking for a home ASAP? Or are you just at the preliminary stages and you think you might want to buy a home 3 months or 6 months or a year from now? Knowing that will tell us how aggressive we should be in trying to get you into a home quickly. Or maybe you're just at this point looking for a general understanding of what's going on in the housing market. Obviously, we need to learn about your real estate wants and needs. Maybe you already know exactly the type of home you're looking for, exactly the city, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how much square footage. Or maybe you only have a vague idea and you want to take this time to learn about different cities or different areas in the Bay Area. Obviously, in order for us to be effective at finding you things that might be of interest to you, we need to have some idea as to what type of property you're looking for. While we're onboarding, we want to make sure we create open and clear communication. So you're going to have my email, you're going to have my cell phone. I'm going to want to be able to get in contact with you, so I'm going to want to have your information as well. I'm going to let you know that anytime you have questions, I want you to ask. And also that I try and make myself available almost 24 hours a day, so you can text me or you can call me usually any night up till 11, 12 o'clock at night. I'm kind of a late night person, and I don't mind talking with clients after normal business hours. If you're getting a loan, we're going to want to make sure that you're pre-approved. We even have a step that goes beyond that we can share with you. And when we set our buyers up with that, it actually makes their overall loan situation much stronger, which is important because when we're submitting offers, if we're competing against other buyers, we want to be able to make our offer terms as strong as possible so that hopefully we can get a seller to choose us over other potential buyers. I'm going to review with you current market conditions and trends. This can be very general terms of various counties or the Bay Area, or if you already know exactly what city or zip code you're interested in, we have data that shows what's going on in all areas of the Bay Area, and we can dive deep to give you specifics about certain cities or zip codes. We'll be able to show you information like whether the inventory is growing or shrinking, if days on the market is increasing or decreasing, if the sale prices are trending above the list price or below the list price. All of these things are important to understand so that you get up to speed on the market and what's going on, and also so that we can make sure we're in the best position when you're analyzing homes that you're interested in. During this onboarding process, and really during the entire home buying journey, we absolutely encourage questions, and we're happy to answer anything you're curious about along the way. I'm going to provide you with a sample purchase contract. We can even spend a little time going through it, and I can explain the different sections to you and answer questions that you have. And if you're not familiar with the purchase contract, it's important that we do this up front and early on so that you can become more familiar with the purchase contract. This way, when we find a great property for you and we've completed all our evaluations and you decide you would like to submit an offer on this home, we can put it together and we won't have to spend a lot of time going through the basics of the purchase contract. And instead, we can just focus on the items that are specific for the home that you're interested in. All of this puts you in a better position to be able to act quickly if we come across a really good deal that you're interested in going after. I want to point out that we're going to operate at your speed and on your schedule. You might be very interested in finding a home and getting into contract as soon as possible, or you might be in the beginning stages of your home buying journey. And maybe you're not really interested in actually buying a home or putting in an offer for a couple of months. That's okay. We absolutely are not about pressure. You will never ever hear us say, you should buy this home. We know that when you see the home that's right for you, you're going to tell us. Our overall goal is not to sell you a home. Our overall goal is to provide you with an amazing home buying experience. Our goal is that your home buying experience is so amazing that in the future, when it's time for you to sell your home, you give us a call because you know that you want to work with us. And of course, we want your experience to be so good that you want to tell your other friends who are thinking about buying homes, hey, you should give Chris a call. He can take care of you. If you're working with another agent, hopefully they're doing all these things as part of their onboarding process as well. And if they are, they're doing a great job. Next, we want to talk about setting expectations. Communication is very important. The more open our conversation is, the more information you share with us about your goals and what you're looking for, the things that you like, the things that you don't like, all of that is going to make it so that we have a better chance of ultimately finding you the perfect home. We want to get a clear understanding of what your expectations are. After all, if we don't know what your expectations are, how are we going to meet or exceed your expectations if we don't know what they are? We'll talk about your desired purchase price and your approval amount, and then we'll take a look and see what you're looking for and what's on the market, and we'll try and decide, is this attainable? Is this something reasonable? Is this going to be easy, or is this going to be like finding a needle in a haystack? And we'll be very open with you in sharing our opinions about your real estate goals and whether or not we think we're going to be able to accomplish them. If you've bought or sold homes before, or if you've worked with other real estate agents, we'd love to hear about your past experiences. We want to hear about the things that you really like about those experiences, so that way we can make sure that we do those sorts of things. And we would also love to hear about the things you didn't like about your past real estate experiences, so that we can make sure that we don't do those things. Next, we're going to want to share with you what our expectations are. In general, our feeling is that if we know what your expectations are, and if you know what our expectations are, and we all talk about that up front, that gives us all a much better chance of together reaching your goals. We're also going to talk to you about the things we do with homes that are on the market and the things that we do with homes that are off the market that are for sale. And we're going to answer any questions that you have about that, and we'll let you know about the different things that we're going to do for both of these types of property to try and help you find the perfect home. Hopefully, if you've worked with other agents in the past, they've gone through a similar step with you about expectations and communications. And if they have, they're doing an excellent job. Next, we're going to review with you our home buyer protection plan and the various guarantees that we have. I'll touch on them briefly here. We have a home buyer protection program where we're going to make sure that you're protected with inspections and reports prior to buying a home, so that way you know everything that you can and everything that you need to know about a home before making a final decision on it. And then once you do purchase a home, we're going to make sure that you have a home warranty to protect you in the event that there's surprise repairs that end up happening during your first year as a new homeowner. Next, we'll talk about our $2,500 Guaranteed Home Finder program. For buyers who are actively looking for a home and want to buy a home right now, we have a guarantee that says if we can't get you into contract within 45 days on an amazing home of your choice, then we're going to pay you $2,500. That's how confident we are in our ability to find our buyers great homes in a reasonable amount of time. We also have a happiness guarantee, which basically says if you buy a home with us and you're not happy with it afterwards, we will sell that home for you and we won't charge you anything to do so, and we'll help you find another home that you truly love. You can find videos of each of these programs on our buyer benefit website. I encourage you to go check them out. Hopefully, if you've worked with other agents or you're thinking about working with other agents, they also have guarantees and protection plans for you. And if they do, they're doing a great job. Finally, we get to the execution stage. This is where we know what you're looking for and it's time to start finding you homes that you might be interested in. The first thing we're going to do is use some software that we have and create an instant notification search of our MLS for you so that we make sure that you and I see all the homes that are matching your home buying criteria. This is going to make it so that you and I will know about any new listings that come on the market that meet your criteria before most other agents and buyers. This obviously gives you an advantage. Next, we will review the current homes that are on the market that appear to meet your home buying criteria. What we like to do is see if we can find 5 or 10 homes that might be of interest to you and set up a time that's convenient for you where we can efficiently go and look at each one of those properties. Doing this will be a great way for you and I to get to know each other better. And also, when we're looking at each of these homes, we're going to be asking you, what are things you like about this home? What are things you don't like about this home? And it's going to help us start creating a picture of exactly what it is that you're looking for. During this stage, we'll share with you some strategies on how we can help you win when you're going after homes that are on the market. We have a few different things that we do that will give you an advantage when going after homes that are on the market, that are on the MLS. And together we'll create a game plan for attacking these homes and any future homes that come onto the market that you and I get notified about. There's things that we can do to help put you in the best position possible when we're going after homes that are on the market and everybody else is also seeing. If you've worked with other agents in the past, hopefully they did something similar to this to help prepare you when looking at homes that are on the market that you might be interested in. If they're doing all of these things, they're doing a great job for their buyer clients. But here's sort of where we draw the line. At this point, most other real estate agents don't know much else to do for their buyer clients. If you've seen all the homes that are on the market, then the only thing left for you and those agents to do is simply wait for other homes to come on the market that might be of interest to you. This is truly the line, and where working with the Simone team brings you quite a few additional benefits. So what makes working with us different? Well, first, we're going to do all those things that we just talked about when we're helping you as a buyer. We give you immediate access to everything that's on the MLS, and we deliver results that come with 25 years of experience and hundreds of successful transactions for our buyer and seller clients. If the story ended here, we would definitely be able to deliver you some very good results and a perfectly fine home buying experience. But this isn't where we stop. So once we have a very clear picture of what you're looking for, we will find you off-market opportunities that other buyers and agents don't know about. We will find for you the home that you are looking for in the area that you are looking for, and we will find home sellers who want to sell their home and haven't yet put it on the market. This is truly the advantage that we're giving to our home buyer clients We do this on a scale unlike any other. We use techniques that are not known by other agents. And all of these things are ways that we help our buyer clients win. The techniques that we use are not easy to implement, and they do cost us time and money. I'm going to share a bunch of those with you now, and this is where things get fun. We do all of this for our buyer clients to give you the absolute best chance of success. While I'm sharing with you all of these special techniques that we use to find you off-market properties, I'd like you to ask yourself, have you ever heard of these approaches before from a previous agent that you worked with or any other agent? If not, hopefully you can appreciate that these are the things that are going to give you a benefit over all the other buyers who are out there looking for similar homes as the one you're looking for. I want to point out that most of the examples I'm going to show you are only for Santa Clara County, but the tools and software and the steps that we use can be run on any county in the Bay Area and beyond. When you sign up with us as a buyer client, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check our secret list of off-market homes for sale and see if there's anything that we already know about that potentially meets your home buying criteria. Currently, we know of over 100 properties that are potentially for sale. I say potentially because this list is very dynamic. Homes don't go on this list unless a home seller has indicated they want to sell their home. But things can change quickly. Sometimes the home might get sold, or sometimes they might decide to put the home on the market, or sometimes they might decide they're not interested in selling anymore. So this list is constantly changing, and you're going to see that we're constantly adding more and more to this list. We do try and keep it up to date as best we can, and we use it for our buyers' benefit. I should point out all of these are unlisted homes for sale. Specifically, they are not pocket listings. There's actually rules against having pocket listings that you're advertising. These are not coming soon homes. These are homes where a home seller has raised their hand and said, yes, we would be interested in selling, and we're not on the market. So how would we use this? Let's say, for example, you're looking for a home here in this highlighted area. This actually happened exactly for one of our buyer clients. They were looking for a home in central San Jose, and we asked them what their home buying criteria was, and we cross-checked to our list of secret homes for sale, and we found the perfect home for them. We reached out to the homeowner, we scheduled a visit, and within 2 days of signing up with us as their buyer agent, we actually were in contract on a property off market, and our buyers ended up purchasing it for 28% below market value. That was certainly a fabulous result for those buyers. You might be wondering, where do these homes come from? Well, first, let me tell you that this isn't a list that we buy from somebody. There's not a company that sells a list of unlisted homes for sale. Believe me, I've looked. And even if there was, they would be selling it to so many real estate agents and they'd be sharing with so many buyers that it would almost become useless anyhow. So our secret list of off-market homes is actually self-generated by us for our buyer clients only. You might be wondering, do other agents and buyers know about these homes for sale? No, they don't. You're going to see how we go about creating this list, and you'll understand exactly why in a few minutes. We only share our list with our actual buyer clients. I can tell you these are not coming soon homes. You might know that there's a category on our MLS where real estate agents can put a home that's coming soon on the market, kind of like a pre-MLS. That's not what our secret list is. It does not include those homes. And in fact, I would give you a warning about coming soon homes and tell you that they're usually not a good type of home that you should go after. The reason I say that is because those are homes that have been listed. They have a listing agent. That listing agent knows what they're doing. And they're in the process of getting it ready, which means they're probably really, really close to putting it on the market. So imagine if you're a home seller and your home is getting pretty close to going on the market. Well, for one, other agents and buyers are seeing that home, so other agents and buyers are already looking at it and competing for it. But if you were that homeowner, you would probably have the mentality of, the only way that I would accept an offer before putting it on the market is if it's too good to pass up on. So that would mean that somebody would have to give me an offer that's so good that I wouldn't want to just wait another week or two to put it on the market and expose it to all the buyers and agents and see what kind of other offers we could get. So somebody who's buying a home that's in the coming soon status usually has to give that home seller a very, very attractive offer to get them to agree to sell before they go on the market. That's why I say these homes are a trap. You might be wondering, can I get a copy of all these homes and the addresses? Maybe I can look at it, and if there's something on there that I might be interested in, I'll reach out to you. Well, for obvious reasons, the answer to that question is no. I think you can pretty much guess what would happen if we just handed out this list to everyone. It wouldn't work out well for us or for our actual buyer clients. You might be wondering, will any of these homes match my buying criteria? Well, I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't know what you're looking for. It may or may not match a home that's already on our secret list. But don't let that worry you, because finding off-market opportunities that match exactly what you're looking for is what we do. I'm going to show you several ways that we do that, and the key takeaway from all of this that I want you to have is that our main benefit is not our secret list of off-market homes. It's actually how we generate our list that's important. I'm going to walk you through several of those techniques, and I'm going to go through kind of quickly, so you might be wondering, can you learn more about these various techniques? Well, yes, you can. On our buyer benefit website, we have over 20 videos that share all kinds of interesting information with potential buyers. And we have about a dozen different ways that we try to find off-market opportunities for our buyer clients that match their exact specifications. On our website, we have videos that go into details on each of these different approaches. I've been a real estate agent and broker for over 25 years, and I can honestly tell you that most of these approaches, I don't know a single agent that is doing these things and offering these things to their buyer clients. And as far as I know, we're the only real estate team in the Bay Area that offers all of this. So let's continue, and I'll show you several different ways that we look for the exact home that you're interested in, and you'll also understand how doing so actually helps us create our secret list for you and our other buyers. We have some special software that identifies bank-owned properties in any county. You can see Santa Clara County here. There's currently 34 bank-owned homes in the county that our software identified. If you were looking for a home in this area, we can check those bank-owned homes against what you're looking for and see if any of them match your criteria. None of these homes are on the market currently. I can share with you that over the last 12 years, we've bought and sold more bank-owned homes for our clients than any other agents in the Bay Area that we're aware of. Here's a map that shows homes that we've personally bought or sold for our clients. Each one of these pinpricks is a bank-owned home that we either bought or sold for our clients. The next thing we'll do is check for pre-foreclosure and distressed properties. Now we have special software that helps us do this. Most other agents do not have this software, and it identifies homes in any county that currently have notice of defaults filed against them or upcoming foreclosure trustee sales. These could be very motivated home sellers. In Santa Clara County, there's currently over 150 of these homes when we're making this video, and oftentimes there's a lot more than that. How would we use this information? Let's say you're looking for a home in this area here that's highlighted in yellow. We can cross-check the homes of these motivated home sellers to the type of home that you're looking for, and we have a unique way of reaching out to those homeowners and maybe getting some of them to raise their hand saying, yes, we'd be interested in selling. None of these homes that are identified by our software are on the market either. In case it's not obvious, anytime we can identify an off-market property that matches your criteria and the homeowner wants to sell it, it gives you and I a very unique opportunity and a huge advantage over other buyers and agents, because you and I can go and look at this property and evaluate it and see if it's something that you're interested in. If you're interested in it, we're the only game in town for that homeowner. If we submit an offer, there's nothing for them to compare it against. We're not fighting with other buyers. There's no competition to try and get these homes. So for those reasons and a whole bunch of other reasons I haven't even told you about, when we can find motivated home sellers like this, you can sometimes get an exceptional deal. Next, we're going to use some additional special software that we have that identifies homes that have liens and delinquencies. Now, when I say liens in this sense, I'm not talking about mortgages. I'm talking about federal income tax liens, state income tax liens, mechanic liens, HOA liens. And when I talk about delinquencies, I'm talking about property tax delinquencies. And all of these homes are off market. None of them are listed for sale. When we run our special software, and I don't know any other agents that have it or use it, we identify quite a few homes. In fact, our software run on Santa Clara County identifies over 18,000 homes that have these liens and delinquencies. This map is actually only showing 2,000 of those homes. So if you were going to see all 18,000, there'd be 9 times as many homes on the map. That's a lot of homes. So how do we use this information? Well, if you were looking for a home in this area here, again, we would cross-check these homes against the criteria that you're looking for, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, things like that. And we have a way of reaching out to these homeowners to try and get some of them to raise their hand and say, yes, we might be interested in selling our home off market. Again, at this point, you and I are the only ones who know that these homes are for sale. So we will go look at them, and if you like one, we will evaluate it. We will run the comps. I'll be able to tell you, if this home were on the market, here's how much it would sell for. And at that point, the only thing you and I need to figure out, if you're interested in this home, is how much below the market value we want to try and submit an offer to try and buy this home from this homeowner. It's worth pointing out that in all of these situations that we're talking about, when I'm representing you as the buyer agent, I'm only representing you. I'm not representing the home seller. In fact, if I was representing the home seller, I would have to tell them, don't sell it to this buyer. Let's put it on the market. Let's expose it to all the buyers, all the agents, and you're going to get a lot more money for it. But since I'm only representing you, I don't have to tell them that. And my only goal is to try and get you the best possible deal on this home. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you're starting to see the power of finding these off-market opportunities for you. Well, it doesn't end there. We actually have some special software that can identify off-market vacant homes in any county that match your exact home buying criteria. Again, this is another approach I don't know any other agents that are using. And it's just another thing that here at the Simone team, we do to help our buyer clients potentially find exceptional deals. Again, none of these homes are on the market either. This software only identifies homes that are vacant that are also not on the market. You might be wondering, why is Chris telling me about vacant homes? Well, let's think about this for a minute. Why is a home sitting vacant in the first place? Maybe it used to be a rental property and the tenants moved out and now the homeowner is trying to figure out what to do with it. Maybe they want to clean it up and re-rent it, or maybe they're going to fix it up and put it on the market. Or maybe the owner just bought themselves a new home. Maybe they were upsizing because their family's growing, or maybe they're downsizing because their kids have moved out and gone away to college or gotten married and now they don't need such a big house. So maybe they already purchased their replacement home and they've already moved into it, and this home is just sitting vacant while they're trying to figure out what to do with it. There's a number of reasons why a home might be vacant, and you can probably appreciate that a vacant home is a potential home buying opportunity for you and I. One of the things that I like about this approach is that finding vacant homes that are off market is actually very difficult. It's probably why other agents haven't thought to use this type of approach. I think that's the main reason why I really like this software that we have and think it's so powerful. In Santa Clara County, we can currently identify over 1,600 homes that are vacant. And again, if you're looking for a home in this area, we would reach out to those homeowners on any home that met your home buying criteria. And we're hoping we get some of them to raise their hand and say, yes, we would consider selling it off market. Once again, you and I are the only ones that know about this property, and we already know that it's a home that might be what you're looking for because it's in the correct area and it has the right number of bedrooms and the right number of bathrooms and the right square footage. That's what's so powerful about these techniques, is that we're finding your exact home buying criteria off market. Homeowners with vacant properties might be motivated home sellers. That works well into your and my favor and could be a place where we find you a good deal. Here's kind of a crazy approach. Tell me if you've ever heard of something like this before. We have a way of identifying off-market properties that have been inherited by the current owner sometime in the last 2 years. The sometimes in the last 2 years part is important because statistically, most homes that are inherited end up getting sold within the first 2 years. We have some special software that identifies these off-market opportunities, and once again, we're using it for your benefit. In Santa Clara County, there's over 5,000 homes that our software identifies that we could potentially go after. If you were looking for a home in this area here, once again, we would reach out to the homeowners and we would see who's interested in selling before they go on the market. Now, this is a really interesting approach because I want you to imagine somebody who inherits a home. I would say most of the time that person probably doesn't need the home. They probably live somewhere else. In fact, we can cross-check all the inherited homes just like we can do with all the other categories that I've told you about. And we can cross-check the homeowners and find those who live out of state. So imagine there's a home in the neighborhood that you're interested in and had somebody who was living there and they passed away and their 3 kids inherited this property. And those 3 kids live in 3 different states all throughout the United States. For those new owners of this property, it's really just an inheritance windfall. From my experience, and I think you can probably appreciate this, a lot of times homeowners who find themselves in this sort of situation, they just look for the most convenient and easy way to sell the property. They might not want to get it all cleaned up. They might not want to fix it and paint and carpet and remodel. They might just want to have it sold quickly and move on. And also, there's nothing that says that this home that they just inherited isn't completely beautiful. But still, lots of times, people who inherit homes just want to sell them with the least amount of inconvenience as possible. That's why when we can get these homeowners to raise their hand, and now you and I are the only ones who know about this home for sale, and we go look at it, if it's something you're interested in, that property is ripe for you getting a good deal. Here's another method that we use at the Simone team. It's our direct marketing campaign to find your exact home. I can probably explain this best with giving you a real-life example from one of our buyer clients. So we met some buyers who were interested in finding a property in San Jose, in the Willow Glen and Cambrian area, and we agreed to take them on as clients. Let's zoom in on this area and I'll show you what we did for these buyers. So here's a map showing you the general area that they were interested in. So we used a combination of the previous techniques that I just told you about and a direct marketing campaign where we pulled county records through our title company to identify all of the homes that matched their exact criteria. They were looking for a home that had at least 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and was 1,400 square feet. So we used all our various techniques to find the most motivated home sellers with homes that met that exact criteria, and we identified 1,100 properties. You can see them on the map here. So then what we did was we reached out to those homeowners with the creative technique that we have, and we were able to get 7 of those homeowners to raise their hand and say, yes, we would be interested in selling our home off market. None of these homes were on the market. So that gave this buyer client an opportunity to look at 7 homes that met their exact criteria. It's in the right neighborhood, the right zip code, the right size. And our buyer and us were the only ones that knew these homes were for sale. So we went and we looked at all of them. They fell in love with one of them and they ended up buying it for $155,000 below market value. And it saved them 14% on their home purchase. Now, there's actually something really cool that happened even beyond this, giving them an even better ending. And if you'd like to hear about that, you can find our direct marketing campaign video on our website and you can check it out. I should point out that all of these things that we do don't cost our buyer anything. These are all things that we do that cost us money to implement out of our own pocket. Not many agents are willing to do that or know how to do most of these things that I'm sharing with you. So this is a great opportunity for me to give you a little side note here. You remember I told you that we ran this campaign for our buyer client and we generated 7 off-market opportunities for them. Well, obviously they can only buy one of those homes, which means we had 6 extra homes that we knew about that were for sale that they didn't buy. So these 6 homes get added to our secret list of off-market properties for sale. So you can imagine we're doing all these different campaigns for all of our different buyers, and they're not buying all the homes that we find. So when we find them, we put them on our secret list. And then other buyer clients that we start working with, we can share those homes with them just in case there's something on there that meets their criteria. So now you see how our secret list is built. Here's another strategy we implemented for our buyer clients. Now this one is for properties that are on the market, and it's a way that we can potentially find you the best deals out there. We know a lot of buyers, when they're home shopping, they like to look on Zillow and they like to look on Redfin. And obviously one of the things that you see on there is the list price of homes that are on the market. And then you see the estimate. You see Zillow's estimate and you can see Redfin's estimate. I have a background in technology. In a previous life, I was an engineer. And when I went into real estate 25 years ago, I thought to myself, why don't I use some of those skills to find ways to create opportunities for my real estate clients? Specifically, I wanted to find ways to find good deals for my buyer clients. So we created some software that actually compares the list price and the Zillow estimate and creates a Zillow discount comparing what it thinks the home is worth versus the list price. This allows us to rank the entire market of available homes for sale from best to worst according to Zillow. We thought, well, that's cool. So why don't we also do it with Redfin? And that's exactly what we did. So we can rank the entire market of homes for sale based on which properties Redfin thinks are the best to the worst. Finally, what we do is, because Zillow and Redfin use completely different algorithms to come up with their estimates, we thought, wouldn't it be great if we could just combine all of this into one spreadsheet, and we use the average rank of Zillow and Redfin, and we come up with this list showing our clients which homes on the market appear to be the best deals. So for example, if you were looking for a home in San Jose, you might take a look at these properties to see that according to Zillow and Redfin, they're currently listed between 10 and 30% below what they think they're worth. If you and I know about that quickly, then we can rush out and look at those properties, and maybe we can put in an offer and get it accepted before other buyers find out about it, or before the open house happens and they get 50 or 100 buyers coming to the open house because it's such a good deal. Now, this is software that we actually created ourselves, so I'm pretty sure there's no other agents that are offering this. Zillow doesn't offer it, and Redfin doesn't offer it either. Just another technique that we use for you to try and find you the best deal possible on your home purchase. There's several more things that we do to try and find you good opportunities. There's a technique that we use with homes that are on the market and on the MLS that meet a certain criteria that allow us to use a strategy where we can get it for below the list price. I'd be happy to share this technique with you when we're talking or when we meet. It's not something I want to put out there in a public video where other agents could see it, because I only want this technique to be something that we use for our buyers and not everybody else. We will check many of the most popular online auction websites to see if we can find any off-market or discount opportunities for you that meet your home buying criteria. We have a video of this on our website. You can find out more details. In the last 10 years, I'm pretty sure that we have participated in more online home auctions than any other agents in the Bay Area. These auctions are not for everyone. They're a little bit tricky sometimes, but oftentimes good deals can be had on these auction platforms. We have a high-tech digital marketing campaign that we launch for all of our buyers through online advertising and social media. Again, trying to find homeowners in your precise area of interest and see if we can get any of them to raise their hand, indicating they might be interested in selling off-market. We actually belong to sort of a secret top producing agent network, which includes the highest producing agents from all of the brokerages throughout the Bay Area. It's an exclusive network that's not easy to get into. You have to be verified in the top 10% of producing agents throughout the area. And being a member of this network allows us to communicate with other top producing agents who are doing a lot of the real estate business in the Bay Area. And we can send out our buyer needs to see if any of them know about any opportunities that could be of interest to you. On our website, you can see a video where I go into more details about this. So let me ask you, how much do you think you could benefit from all of this? We provide our buyers off-market homes on our existing secret list. We go after bank-owned properties for our buyers, pre-foreclosure and distressed properties, homes with income tax liens, delinquent property taxes, off-market vacant homes, homes that are off-market that have been inherited, a direct marketing campaign to find precise off-market opportunities for you. Our best of Zillow and Redfin software that can show you the best opportunities according to them that are on the market right now, potential deals through online home auctions, and high-tech online marketing that we do to find you off-market opportunities. Most agents and most buyers are only looking at the homes that are on the market. They're competing against hundreds of other buyers and agents. This is what we do to create exceptional results for our buyer clients. This is what we do to give you a huge advantage when you're looking for a home. And this is what we do to make it so that you possibly can get a home not at market value, but even below market value, saving tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars on your home purchase. Now, I guess I should throw out a disclaimer. I'm not saying that 100% we're going to be able to find you your perfect home off market. But what I can tell you is that I'm trying just about everything that we can possibly think of to identify opportunities for you so that maybe we can find you something off market. When it happens, it's a beautiful thing. This can obviously save you time, and this can potentially save you lots of money. I think it's probably pretty obvious and clear to you that other agents are not going to give you these sorts of opportunities at this scale. Oftentimes, right around here, buyers start wondering or start asking me, how much is all this going to cost me? As I'm sure you're probably aware, there's been some changes in the real estate industry regarding agent commissions, specifically buyer agent commissions. And now it's actually required that when you're out looking at homes, you actually are signed up with an agent representing you, and you have a contract specifying how much that agent is going to make if they can help you find a home. I hope we can agree that us having over 25 years of real estate experience, where we've helped hundreds and hundreds of home buyers and sellers achieve their real estate goals, that working with us would put you in pretty good hands. On top of that, I just shared with you a number of techniques that we use to find off-market opportunities for our buyer clients that you're not going to find with any other agents. I hope we can agree that working with us to find your home gives you a high likelihood of success. My promise to you is this: our fee is very much in line with what you would expect to pay other experienced agents. In fact, for the most part, our fee is probably identical. So please don't let that cause you any hesitation regarding reaching out to us to see how we might be able to work together. I also want to point out that we have multiple ways to still get the seller to pay our fee for you. There are some common approaches that agents use. Yes, we use those. But we do have one additional technique that I'm certain most other agents don't know about. I'd be happy to share that with you when we talk or when we meet, but it's not something I want to share here in a public video because I want to keep this technique for you, for my buyer clients. I want to keep this technique as a way to help my buyers win. I'd be happy to discuss this more over a phone call, and you can book that with us on our buyer benefit website, howourbuyerswin.com. So now we've finally done all of this execution. We've found off-market opportunities. We found the best deals on the market. You and I looked at lots of homes. You fell in love with one, and we finally got you into contract. So now we enter the escrow process. Congratulations, we're in the home stretch. The escrow period usually lasts between 20 and 60 days, just depending on what we put in the contract and what your scenario is and what the homeowner's scenario is. And I can tell you there's lots of moving pieces during escrow, lots of things happening. Some are obvious and some are sort of behind the scenes. There's deposits that need to get over to escrow. There's disclosures we have to finalize. There's inspections that might need to happen, appraisals, dealing with lenders and loan conditions, title paperwork, negotiations, more paperwork, getting all the final funds over to the escrow company, performing a final walkthrough, signing all the final papers at the title company, recording the property with the county, and finally getting you keys to your new home. We will keep you informed every step of the way in this process and try and make it as stress-free as possible. It's worth mentioning that experience counts when you're dealing with all of these moving pieces in escrow. For some buyers, getting into contract takes months and months, and now they finally have an opportunity to get their dream home. If any of these steps aren't handled correctly, if time periods aren't met, if negotiations don't happen properly, there's a potential for the whole escrow to blow up, sending the home buyer back to starting over to try and find a new home to buy. Because we've handled hundreds and hundreds of real estate transactions, that sort of thing doesn't happen here at the Simone team. In fact, in 25 years, we've never once had an escrow fall apart because one of our clients didn't do the things that needed to happen in the time frame that was required. Experience counts, and you're so close to the finish line that we want to make sure you get there. Finally, escrow closes, and it's time for you to celebrate. Among all the things that we do in our real estate business, nothing makes me happier than handing keys to one of our buyers on a new home they just purchased. My hope is that someday in the not too distant future, I get to do exactly that with you. Feel free to hop back to our buyer benefit website. You can watch videos of all of our various techniques and other strategies. If you'd like to book a call, you can do that on our website, or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. There's a sample pack you can request on our website with lots of goodies I think you'll be interested in. And thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. We look forward to the opportunity to serve you, and we truly do want you to be our next success story. We'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.